So we're going to look at on Unit 1, I'm going to have a look at the final stages of this, which is now 6, 7 and 8, yeah?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pull up a couple of, oops, where have you gone? Unit 1 L06, I'm just going to have a quick look at. Oh. Here we
It's
are.
like taking its time.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So L06 is about assessment in educational training. I'm just going to put that to one side a second while I open up. The suggested evidence. Taking a little bit longer to load tonight than usual.
Mm. It's saying it's bedtime.
Yeah, probably something like that, yeah. Okay. Now this 6 is particularly looking at the way assessments take place within your area. So explain the purpose of types of assessment used in education and training. Now that's in all education and training, not just in your area, yeah? So it's looking at initial assessment, formative assessment, summative assessment, questioning, tests, skills tests, feedback sheets, all that sort of thing, yeah?
Yes.
So again, once you've explained the purposes of different types of assessment, analyse the effectiveness of the assessment methods used in relation to meeting the individual needs of your learners, yeah? So what do you use and why?
I had to go at 6.1 and 6.2. For 6.1, I did mention, I went into detail about how formative, summative, initial are done, and then I explained a bit about what each one is, how they're used and what they're meant to be. And then on the 6.2, I explained different types, like a couple of sentences about different types of assessments, but then I picked up formative because that's the one that I preferred because it's an ongoing assessment. Then I showed how it can be used.
That's correct. The main type of formative assessment is done to A, to check learning's happened, and B, to look at if anything's gone off at a tangent before it goes any worse. So that you can look at it and say, yes, what you've missed is such and such a thing, give that feedback, and then once that's corrected, as you work through the rest of the learning objectives, then you don't get an issue, yeah?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it works through, yeah. So, again, what assessment method do you use? And then it's actually saying use types and methods of assessments, including peer and self-assessment. So use assessment records for your two learners, yeah?
Okay.
If you because the command verb here is analysed there, of course, but here it's used. That's a doing one. So you have to have something you can produce. So what it is the some assessment sheets or copies of assessments that you've done with the two learners you mentioned previously, yeah? Okay. And then just explain the task in 6.4, 6.5 and 6.6.
So would I just say carry out something like a task and then have like a feedback sheet that I could produce?
Yeah, you will probably have those already.
Yeah.
In school, and it's just a matter of having a couple of those for each two of your learners, yeah, to show that you've done the assessment and recorded it, yeah.
Yes.
Again, some part of that will include questioning and feedback to contribute to the assessment process, yeah. Record the outcomes of assessment. That means you have to have the documentation, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last bit is communicate assessment information with other professionals with an interest in the learner. Now that basically is your quality assurance section. All the teachers that you're working with, yeah? And how do you actually communicate that information?
So I could talk about how we do it, like the use of the intranet and documents that we store in folders.
Yeah,
and
if you've got an intranet, that's excellent because usually it's encrypted, so only the people involved can actually see it. Yeah. Right. What I was going to do with that track. And that is 6, by the way.
Yeah.
There are 6 ACs, but they do follow each other.
They do, yeah, that's true.
An outline of assessment methods, the effectiveness of the assessment methods you use, documentation to actually show that the types of assessment that you've used cover these things.
Yes.
Using questioning, recording outcomes, and communicating those outcomes with other people that have an interest in that learner. Yeah. 7 is analysing ways in which minimum core can be introduced or demonstrated in planning, delivering and assessing inclusive teaching and learning. So, that's the diagnostic tests from English, maths, well, in our case, not IT, but in other people it will be.
Okay. An
explanation of where they apply and fit into the course. They may not be all in your course, but say why, yeah?
Okay.
7.2 is apply minimum. You need to apply the evidence of task 7.1, yeah, to show how they help in planning and deleting.
Okay.
That's not right, hang on. That's better. Delivering. Funny how you spot spelling mistakes, as you go through. Must have looked at this sheet 100 times.
So when it says apply minimum core elements, that's meant to be like doing things, isn't it?
Involved in part of your lesson.
So I just write a couple. So I just need to write things down and maybe put a appendice to show something for here as well.
Well, if you excuse me, within your lesson plan, my voice is going again. Within your lesson plan, there may be actual minimum core embedded into that particular lesson, and it's worth having a word with the teacher about that to see if you can actually have it pointed out to you, so you can show by using a copy of how that is done. Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, we've got there learning objective 8. Which the last two are only 2.
I like 7 and 8. They're very small.
Yeah. So the 8 is a reflective review of your own practice in planning, delivering, and assessing inclusive teaching and learning, taking account of the views of learners and others. Right now, at some point, you will have some observations. Yeah. You can also, for this one, taking into account the views of learners and others, your observer will have views on your. My voice is going again. They will have some views on the effectiveness of what you're doing. Yeah, so you can refer to teaching observations as well in this. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me dump that, because we changed it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Unit 3 is about, if you remember, it's about theories and principles of reflection. Yeah.
Yes. So I can go back and read what I've done.
Click on there. You may have some evidence in there which will do that. If you've done a review of your own effectiveness in there, yeah, because it says how do you actually. I think the first part of it is look at the theorists and say how you apply them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't actually done a review, then do a review. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Of the effectiveness of your own practice, and then identify any areas for improvement. Yeah. But this task can also be cross-referenced to L07 Unit 3. But just check what you've written first, that's all. Yeah.
Okay.
So that actually completes the unit. I think from there, oh, excuse me, I've got a real croak on tonight.
Oh. It does. It gets worse as you speak, doesn't it?
Well, I've done a lot of talking today, so probably that as well. Yeah. If I lower my voice a little bit, it comes back again. But I sound awfully pompous then. So I'm just going to close that a minute now. Yes, I do want to save those changes.
Were you able to get an amplification on for this?
No,
I've lost it. Oh, okay.
I will find it. I've got it on a pen drive somewhere. I think what's happened, as I've been editing, I've taken it out and I put it in the wrong one.
Yeah.
I've now changed. That's back in the right place for when we get to 2. But the one I had for 1, I don't know where I put it. I'll have to have a search through all my pen drives and find it, and then I'll restore it onto here.
Okay.
Basically, if we work to what we've got on the suggested evidence, we're not far out there.
Because with L07, that's the only one that's worrying me, because obviously I've not, at the moment, I've not got access to certain things until I start work.
Have a look at this as well.
Yeah.
Because this covers L01 and also covers L02.
Okay.
On that there, yeah.
So look at, okay.
When you get to other units, you've got Unit 1 L06, this covers here, and Unit 2 L07.
Yeah.
So you can actually, when you're doing the units, you can have a quick look back into the others as well to see if there's anything useful there, yeah.
Okay.
So, excuse me. Carrying on with 6, you're quite clear on the assessment point on 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually run through that, but I won't do now because I can leave you to have a look through that because this is
never turn.
assessment. Again, look at different examples of different assessment methods and explain the purpose and principles of assessment. Recognise and analyse approaches to assessment and reflect on, evaluate on your own approaches to assessment. So there's a bunch of stuff in here that you can use just for ideas as much as anything else, and to obviously make sure you fully understand some of the not criteria, some of the acronyms, or and that sort of thing that you'll find.
Okay.
Approaches to assessment. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff on here you can look at.
Yeah, because it gives other ideas besides just primary in that, which is nice.
Yeah.
Shows other things, yeah.
Where's that? Yeah, there's one on the reflective teacher here as well. For looking at LOM.
I think I read through that for Unit 3 for a particular question on that.
You may well have, because I'm not sure what's on 3. We've got that on 3. It's on one of these PowerPoints, yeah. Yeah. Because as I've said, these common core units do overlap quite a bit. When you get to Unit 2, excuse me, When we get to Unit 2, you'll see the overlap from Unit 1. Yeah.
I'm just wishing for things we can just cross-reference so it makes it easier.
Yeah. Because if you look at it, this says teaching, learning and assessment in education and training. Unit 2. Developing teaching, learning and assessment in education and training. Now, if we've thoroughly done Unit 1, there will be a number of areas where you can cross-reference evidence too.
Okay.
And I've signposted those for you.
That's good, thank you.
So, do you think you're going to be okay with the last 3 LOs
Yeah,
on
should
there?
be fine. I'll speak to some of for L07, if I do get a little bit stuck for some paperwork, I'll see if I can wrangle some stuff out from the primary that my kids are at. But
yeah, if you're not sure about anything, you can always drop me a text.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. And I can go online for some of the stuff for L07, can't I?
Again, yes. If you think about it, when you were doing Unit 3, you used quite a bit of internet access for that, didn't you?
True, most 90% of it, yes.
You can get information off there that gives you the pointer, and you can write your piece from the information you get on there. It's very good.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I should be okay as long as I can get some of the bits and bobs.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant.
I didn't. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to stop recording now.